The sky over Earth was calm that night, but every eye on the planet seemed to be looking upward. For weeks, telescopes had tracked something unusual, a massive object slowly approaching from the dark of space. At first, many thought it was only a comet or an asteroid, but the way it moved was not natural. It changed speed, it adjusted course, it traveled with purpose. Humanity knew then that this was no rock. This was a ship. The United Nations Space Command gathered in secret meetings. Scientists spoke of a chance to meet another intelligent race. Leaders spoke of peace, of diplomacy, of a new age for mankind. But in the hidden chambers of Earth's defense network, generals and admirals whispered of danger. They remembered history. They remembered that peace often came before betrayal. The massive vessel finally entered Earth's orbit. It was enormous, like a floating city of light. Its surface shimmered with strange patterns that pulsed like living skin. People on the ground looked up with awe. News stations called it the greatest moment in human history. Crowds filled the streets waving flags. Some cried with joy, some prayed. For many, it felt like the beginning of a new future. The alien ship sent a signal, not in words, but in tones. A harmony of sounds that felt calm and peaceful. Translators worked fast, converting the message into human language. "We come in peace, we seek friendship," the voice said. The world cheered. Governments responded with messages of welcome. Humanity seemed ready to embrace this first contact. But deep in orbit, hidden from every eye, there were other ships, Earth's secret defense project known only to a handful of leaders. They were called the Phantom Fleet, silent warships, cloaked in shadows, built for the day humanity might face the unknown. For years they had waited, drifting in darkness near the far side of the moon. Now I watched with cold patience, unseen by alien eyes. On Earth, the first meeting took place in a great hall prepared in orbiting station Horizon 1. Human diplomats stood in their finest suits. Soldiers stood guard. The alien emissaries arrived, tall beings with luminous skin and eyes like flowing water. Their movements were graceful, their voices soft. They spoke of trade, of learning, of unity between the stars. The diplomats smiled. Cameras recorded every word. The galaxy, it seemed, had finally opened its doors to mankind. Yet not everyone trusted them. Admiral Reyes, commander of Earth's hidden fleet, stood in the shadows of the control room watching the broadcast. His jaw was set, his voice low. "They come with words of peace, but I see soldiers in their eyes," he whispered to his staff. His analyst had already detected faint energy pulses hidden within the alien transmissions, coded signals moving between their ships. "They scan us, they map us, they prepare," Reyes said. Meanwhile, down on Earth, ordinary people celebrated. Cities lit their skylines, families gathered around screens, children held signs that said, "Welcome friends." Humanity wanted to believe, wanted to trust. For a moment the world was united in hope. Nations that once argued now stood together, bound by curiosity and wonder. But in the silence of space, a single event broke the harmony. A listening post on the far edge of the solar system reported an anomaly. A second wave of alien signals encrypted, moving fast through deep space. The message was not friendly. The words once decoded carried orders. Phase 1 complete. Prepare Phase 2. When Reyes received the report, he did not hesitate. He turned to his officers and said the words they had trained to hear. "Keep the fleet in shadow, but raise shields. The Phantom must stay unseen until the right moment." His eyes narrowed. He knew the aliens had come with more than peace. Back on Horizon 1, the alien emissary extended a shining hand toward the human ambassador. "Let us begin a new chapter," the alien said. Cameras flashed, applause echoed. The moment looked like history in the making, but in the hidden depths of Earth's command center, warning lights blinked red. Unknown signals pressed against Earth's defenses, probing, measuring. The people of Earth still cheered, still celebrated, but above them, in the dark where sunlight never reached, the Phantom Fleet waited. Their cannons were silent, their hulls were dark. They were ghosts in the void, guardians unseen. And though no one on Earth knew it, the peace they celebrated was already cracking. For while the aliens spoke of friendship, Earth's hidden fleet prepared for the day their true purpose would be revealed. The great hall of Horizon 1 was filled with light, but beneath the glow of chandeliers and cameras there was tension. The alien emissaries stood tall, their shimmering bodies reflecting the golden light. Their words floated smooth and calm. "We come to share, we come to unite," they said. Each phrase was designed to ease human fear, yet every sentence carried a shadow of command, subtle but sharp. The human ambassador, Dr. Elaine Carter, smiled politely. Her hands trembled slightly as she spoke words of welcome. She wanted to believe, humanity wanted to believe, but behind her, silent guards shifted their weight uneasily. They felt the same cold prickle that Admiral Reyes had already spoken of. Something hidden, something dangerous lurked behind those calm alien eyes. Far away in the command station, buried deep under the Rocky Mountains, screens flickered with lines of code. Analysts worked at high speed, their faces pale. They had intercepted another alien signal. The tone was not the same as the speeches of peace. This one was sharp, encrypted military, deploy Phase 2 probes, it said. Map defenses, locate weapons. The proof was clear, the aliens had not come only for friendship. Admiral Reyes stood with arms behind his back, staring at the void of space, his voice low and cold. "They think us blind," he said. His officers looked at him with quiet fear. They all knew the truth. The Phantom Fleet was not only a secret weapon, it was Earth's last hope. If peace broke into fire, Reyes turned slowly. "We wait. We watch. Let them think we are weak. The ghosts will strike only when the mask falls." On Horizon 1, the alien leader smiled, a wide expression that almost looked human, but stretched too far. "We wish to help you," the alien said. "Your defenses are old, fragile. We will guard your world until you are ready." The words sounded like kindness, but in the control room, Dr. Carter's aide whispered in her ear, "Madam, they are asking us to lower orbital defenses. It's a demand, not a request." Carter's smile froze. Cameras were still rolling. The world was watching. She could not show fear, but her heart pounded in her chest. In her earpiece, the voice of Earth's president crackled. "Do not agree. Stall them. Buy time." The alien emissaries tilted their heads, their eyes glowing faintly. They had studied human behavior. They knew hesitation when they saw it. Their voices grew firmer. "To prove trust, lower your weapons. Let us guard the skies." Meanwhile, on the far side of the moon, Phantom Fleet stirred. Dark silhouettes floated in silence. Their crews whispered in the dark. The order had not come yet, but the tension was sharp enough to cut. A young pilot named Daniels leaned toward his captain. "Sir, if they see us first, we're done." The captain nodded. "That is why we stay shadows. They must never know until the moment comes." Back on Earth, the people still celebrated. Fireworks lit skies over cities. News anchors spoke of peace. Children waved banners. The whole world wanted to believe this was the beginning of something beautiful. But in the quiet homes of military families, in the dark offices of intelligence operatives, there was no joy. They had seen the signals. They knew the deception. Then came the first crack. A small human supply ship vanished while traveling near the alien formation. The aliens explained it with calm words: accident, navigation error, space debris. But when investigators checked the data, they found energy patterns of alien weapons, small, precise, hidden, but undeniable. Reyes slammed his fist on the table. "Enough of their lies," he growled. Yet the president urged caution. "Not yet, Admiral. If we reveal the fleet too soon, the galaxy will see us as aggressors. We must be sure. We must be patient." Patience burned like fire in Reyes's chest, but he obeyed. He gave the order. "The Phantom remains in shadow. Watch every move, track every pulse. When the day comes, we strike like thunder." On Horizon 1, the alien emissary placed a hand on the table. The surface shimmered under its touch. Small pulses of energy slipped unseen into the station's systems. Within seconds, data streams began flowing to the alien ship. They were stealing maps, codes, and defense protocols. Carter's aide caught the anomaly. "They are hacking us," he whispered with terror. Carter forced herself to keep smiling. "Friends, perhaps we should end for today. There is much to discuss, but peace takes time." The alien leader tilted his head again. His glowing eyes narrowed. For a long moment, silence ruled the room. Then with a voice both smooth and chilling, he said, "Time is running out." Deep in the void, Phantom Fleet waited, silent blades in the dark, unseen, unspoken. They were Earth's hidden answer, waiting for the shadow to break into light. Humanity stood between hope and betrayal, between peace and war, and though the world cheered for friendship, those in the shadows knew the truth. The storm was coming, and the ghosts would be called to rise. The world still believed in peace. Streets glowed with banners of welcome. Schools taught children about humanity's new friends. News anchors spoke of unity across the stars. But beneath the surface, the illusion was already breaking, and those cracks were spreading faster each day. In orbit, Horizon 1 continued hosting meetings with the alien emissaries. Their words were honey, sweet, and careful. They spoke of trade routes, cultural exchange, even medical advancements. But behind every gift, behind every smile, there was a shadow. Data continued vanishing from Earth's networks, encrypted streams leaving unseen trails that led back to the alien flagship. Dr. Carter, once filled with hope, now sat in her quarters with sleepless eyes. She replayed recordings of the emissaries over and over, searching for signs. Her aide pointed out strange pauses in their speech, subtle glances between them, small signals hidden in body language. "They are not speaking only to us," he whispered. "They are signaling each other." Far away, in the darkness beyond the moon, Admiral Reyes stood aboard the command deck of Phantom 1. His face was lit by cold blue light. Reports filled the screens before him. A human freighter had vanished near the Martian orbit, its beacon cut without warning. The aliens again called it an accident, debris, navigation error. Yet Reyes had seen the truth. Weapon fire, precise and controlled, left no survivors. "Every lie is another nail," Reyes muttered. His officers looked at him with grim silence. The Phantom Fleet remained unseen, but their crews grew restless. "When will we strike?" Young Daniels asked his captain. The captain shook his head. "Not yet, kid. Not yet." Back on Earth, the president faced a storm of arguments. Civilian leaders begged for patience. "We cannot risk war on the first contact," they said. Military leaders demanded action. "They test us, they weaken us, they prepare to strike," they warned. The debate. 8 filled endless hours, but one thing grew clear. Trust was dying. Then came the moment no one could ignore. During a scheduled joint demonstration, an alien escort ship accidentally fired a beam near a human defense satellite. The satellite was not destroyed, but systems were burned out, leaving Earth blind in one sector of space. The aliens apologized instantly. A technical fault, they claimed, but engineers proved it was no accident. It was a warning, a test of reaction. Dr. Carter confronted the alien emissary during the next meeting, her voice calm but sharp. "Why do your ships move closer to our stations without request? Why do they fire near our defenses? Why do our supply ships vanish in your patrol zones?" The alien emissary's glowing eyes narrowed. His smile did not fade, but his voice grew harder. "Humans are nervous creatures. You imagine threats where there are none. Trust us, or you will destroy your chance at peace." The words carried more force than comfort. They were not requests anymore. They were commands. In the Rocky Mountain Command Center, analysts worked through intercepted transmissions. At last, one signal broke through their decryption walls. The words made their blood run cold. "Phase 3 begins soon. Secure orbit. Prepare for surrender protocols." The aliens had already decided. The peace was only a mask. Admiral Reyes received the signal, his jaw clenched, his voice sharp as steel. "So the mask slips." He turned to his officers. "Maintain silence. Do not reveal the fleet. They think we are unprepared. Let them think so. The ghosts will rise when they least expect it." Meanwhile, the alien fleet shifted formation around Earth. Their ships moved like hunters circling prey. They claimed it was for defensive alignment, but every human strategist knew the truth. It was a blockade forming in slow motion. On Horizon 1, whispers spread among the human guards. They saw alien soldiers watching too closely, their weapons hidden but ready. One guard muttered to another, "This isn't peace. This is a siege." The other only nodded, hands tightening on his rifle. For the people of Earth, the illusion still held. Children still sang songs of peace. Cities still lit their towers in celebration. But rumors began to leak. Missing ships, lost satellites, broken agreements. Families of vanished crews demanded answers. The cheers of the crowd grew quieter, replaced by uneasy silence. In the deep shadow of space, phantom fleets stirred once more. They were silent, but their engines were warm, their weapons ready, ghosts waiting for the moment they would be unleashed. Humanity's last secret, humanity's last line. And as the alien emissaries smiled and bowed, as the cameras kept showing pictures of peace, a new truth spread quietly among those who saw clearly. First contact had not brought peace, it had brought the storm, and the cracks in the illusion were about to shatter. The alien fleet hung above Earth like a crown of fire. Their ships moved in careful patterns, graceful yet suffocating. Every orbit they claimed as protective, every patrol they described as peaceful. But the truth was written in their movements. They were tightening a noose, and Earth was inside it. On Horizon 1, Dr. Carter forced herself to smile through another round of meetings. The emissaries spoke with polished calm. "You must dismantle your orbital weapons," they said. "Peace requires trust, and trust requires surrender." Their glowing eyes watched every reaction. They expected obedience. Carter nodded politely. "Of course, but such processes take time." She stalled. She twisted words. She bought Earth another day, another hour. In her ear, the president whispered, "Keep them waiting. We need every second, every delay." Deep in the Rocky Mountain Command Center, screens flashed with alien positions. Red markers filled Earth's orbit like thorns. Analysts whispered to each other, "It's a blockade already." But when the media asked, officials spoke only of progress, of friendship, of peace. The illusion still had to hold, if only for the civilians. Admiral Reyes stood aboard Phantom 1, his hands clasped tight behind his back. His fleet drifted in silence beyond the moon, invisible, their engines cold, their hulls black against the void. But inside every ship, tension burned, crews trained in whispers, weapons waited in silence. "Hold," Reyes ordered again and again. "The ghosts must wait." Then came the first near disaster. A small alien scout ship broke formation and moved toward the dark side of the moon. Its sensors scanned, sweeping the void. A beam of light almost brushed across Phantom Fleet. Inside one hidden ship, alarms blared softly. Crew members froze, sweat dripped from Daniel's forehead as he whispered, "If they see us, it's over." The captain raised his hand. "Kill all emissions, all systems to shadow." Engines went dark, weapons froze. The ship became a corpse drifting in silence. The alien scan passed, paused, then moved away. The crew finally breathed. Daniel slumped in his chair, whispering, "That was too close." Reyes received the report. His jaw tightened, his voice low. "They suspect something." He turned to his officers. "We must remain shadows. If we rise too soon, Earth will burn. If we rise too late, Earth will fall." The balance was knife edge, and everyone felt it. Meanwhile, another signal was intercepted. Analysts broke it after hours of decoding. The alien command spoke with cold certainty. "Phase 4 begins soon. Earth resistance is weaker than expected. Prepare to disable planetary defenses at dawn." The words chilled every heart in the command center. The president slammed a fist on the table. "We cannot surrender." But his voice cracked with fear. "We are not ready for war either." Silence filled the room until Rhea's voice came through the secure line, steady as iron. "That is why the ghosts wait, Mr. President. When the mask falls, when they move to strike the Phantom Ninpan, will answer." Back on Horizon 1, tension exploded. A human security team discovered alien soldiers near the defense control hub carrying devices disguised as tools. The soldiers claimed it was routine inspection, but the devices were weapons. Small emitters designed to disable human systems. A fight almost broke out, but Carter intervened. "Enough," she said sharply. Her smile was thin, her eyes hard. "Peace requires trust, doesn't it? Then perhaps you should trust us to guard our own systems." The aliens backed away, but their glowing eyes burned with hidden anger. On Earth, people still celebrated, but cracks spread wider. Families of missing crews demanded answers. Scientists leaked whispers of interference. Soldiers on Horizon 1 wrote secret letters to their loved ones. The illusion of peace was fading. Above it all, the alien fleet shifted closer. Their flagship's shadow darkened the skies. Civilians watching from telescopes gasped at its size. But what they did not know was that in the deeper dark, just beyond sight, another fleet waited. Phantom Fleet, silent and unseen, stretched across the void like a hidden storm, their cannons silent, their engines cold. They were the ghosts of Earth, the last secret of humanity. And as the aliens tightened their grip, the ghosts sharpened their blades. The world still thought peace was holding, but in the shadows, everyone who knew the truth whispered the same thought. The hidden armada was real, and soon, the storm would break. Part 5. The Betrayal at Dawn. The night was quiet over Earth. Cities slept under skies filled with alien lights. Their ships glowed like false stars. People whispered of peace, but in the hidden halls of power, fear had grown into certainty. Something was coming, and it would not be peace. At dawn it began. The alien flagship released a pulse across orbit. Every satellite caught the shock. Earth's networks flickered, communications went dark. In seconds, hundreds of defense systems were blind. Engineers screamed in panic. "They've cut us off. We're blind. We're blind." On Horizon 1, alarms blared. Guards rushed through the corridors. The alien emissaries did not flinch. They only smiled. Their glowing eyes burned brighter. "There can be no peace while you hold weapons," the leader said. His voice was no longer gentle. It was a decree. Dr. Carter slammed her hands on the table. "This was never peace. This was control," she hissed. But the alien leader leaned forward, voice sharp as a blade. "Peace is an illusion. Control is survival. Surrender now, or Earth burns." Around the planet, alien warships moved like hunters circling prey. Beams of light lanced out, disabling human stations one by one. Some ships exploded into fire, others drifted powerless. The world gasped in horror as live feeds flickered across news screens. Families watched sons and daughters vanish in flames. In the Rocky Mountain Command Center, officers shouted reports. "Orbital net is collapsing. Defense grid is failing." The president's face turned pale. "What do we have left?" he demanded. All eyes turned to the secure channel, where Admiral Reyes waited in the shadows, his voice calm, steady. "We have the Phantom, sir. The ghosts are ready." On the far side of the moon, Phantom Fleet stirred. For years they had waited in silence. Now the silence ended. Engines ignited with low thunder. Weapons hummed with deadly light. Across dozens of hidden ships, crews took positions. Daniels gripped his console, sweat dripping down his face. "Is this it, Captain?" The captain nodded, eyes cold. "This is the day the ghosts rise." The first alien strike came without warning. A massive beam cut through Horizon 1's docking ring, tearing steel apart. Explosions shook the station. Humans screamed as the hull split open. Carter held onto the railing, alarms howling in her ears. The alien emissary stood untouched. Their leader whispered in her ear as the chaos roared, "Ness was always your nature." But Carter, blood on her forehead, glared back. "You will learn what humans truly are," she spat. Her words carried no fear, only fire. Admiral Reyes received the report of Horizon 1 under attack. His hand rose, his voice carried across the fleet. "Ghosts of Earth, it is time. The mask is broken. The enemy stands revealed. Now we strike." Phantom Fleet powered up. Their hulls glowed faintly as cloaks peeled away. From the darkness emerged shapes that blotted stars. Silent warships with weapons forged in secret, each one larger, deadlier than anything humanity had ever shown. They had been whispers, rumors, legends. Now they were real. Alien sensors screamed alarms. Commanders on the flagship shouted in panic. Unknown vessels detected. Impossible. Impossible. They had scanned Earth 1,000 times. They had seen weakness, not this, not warships of this scale, not weapons that glowed with fire strong enough to shatter fleets. On Earth, the people still screamed. Cities still shook under alien fire. But when the first ghost ship rose into view, hope lit the skies. Civilians pointed at the massive shadows climbing from the dark. "What is that?" a child whispered. "That," her father said, tears in his eyes, "is our answer." The first volley came. A line of white light erupted from Phantom 1. It tore across space and cut straight through an alien cruiser. The ship split in half, fire scattering into the void. Silence followed for one breath. Then chaos consumed the alien fleet. Dr. Carter, clinging to survival aboard the burning station, saw it through the viewport. Phantom Fleet rising like gods of war from the shadows. Her lips trembled, but her voice was steady. So this was the truth we hid, she whispered. This was our last card. The alien emissaries' calm shattered. Their glowing eyes flickered with fear. For the first two, they stepped back. Their leader hissed, "This was not in the records. This was not possible." But humanity had always thrived on the impossible. And as the key, ghosts roared to life. The betrayal of dawn became the fire of awakening. The void of space exploded with fire. Phantom fleet rose from the shadows like titans, their hulls black as night, their cannons blazing white fire. For years they had been whispers, now they were reality. The galaxy had never seen such machines of war. Alien commanders shouted across comms, their voices cracking. Impossible. How did they hide them? Where did these ships come from? Their formations shattered as panic spread. What was once an elegant blockade became chaos. Ships crashed into each other trying to reposition. Some fired blindly, others fled. Admiral Reyes stood tall on Phantom 1's command deck, his eyes locked on the enemy flagship, his voice calm as steel. Target the cruisers first, break their wings, leave the flagship for last. His words carried through the fleet. Ghost captains responded with one voice. Aye, Admiral, let the ghosts strike. The first wave of fire from Phantom Fleet burned through alien armor like paper. Human weapons unleashed plasma storms, rail cannons, and beams that curved through space with terrifying accuracy. Alien cruisers fell one by one, burning wrecks drifting into the void. Daniels gripped his console, his voice trembling with awe. We're cutting them down, sir. They can't stop us. His captain gave a grim smile. Don't celebrate yet, kid. This is only the beginning. On Horizon 1, fire consumed the station, but Carter still clung to life. Her guards pulled her through smoke-filled corridors as explosions roared around them. Out the viewport, she saw the Phantom Fleet carving across the stars. For a moment, her heart filled with hope. Then her aide shouted, "The aliens are still advancing. Their flagship is powering a superweapon." Indeed, the alien flagship loomed like a mountain of fire. Energy surged across its surface. A weapon bigger than anything humanity had ever seen began to glow. It aimed directly at Earth. If it fired, cities would burn, billions would die. Reyes saw it too. His eyes narrowed, his voice sharp. All ships, focus fire on the flagship's weapon array. If it fires once, Earth will fall. Phantom Fleet moved as one. Dozens of ships shifted into formation, their cannons aligning. White fire lanced across space, smashing into the flagship's shields. Sparks and flames scattered, but the weapon still charged. The alien commander stood at the heart of the flagship, his glowing skin flickering with rage. They think themselves strong. They will kneel. They will burn, he hissed. His fleet was collapsing, but he clung to his weapon. His pride demanded Earth's destruction. Inside Phantom 1, tension rose, systems screamed warnings, shields flickered under alien fire. "We can't hold this line forever," an officer shouted, but Reyes only raised his hand. "We don't need forever. We need one strike." In the chaos, Daniels whispered to himself, come on, show them what humanity is." His words felt like prayer. His hands trembled on the console. Then it came. A single Phantom ship broke formation. Phantom Spear, smaller than the others but faster. It accelerated past alien fire, weaving between explosions. Its captain's voice echoed across comms. "If the ghosts must sacrifice, let it be us, for Earth." The ship dove toward the flagship's glowing weapon, engines burning at maximum. The alien commander saw it too late. He screamed, "Destroy them!" But Phantom Spear was already upon them. It unleashed its entire arsenal at point-blank range. Torpedoes, beams, and rail slugs hammered into the weapon core. For one blinding moment, the void lit brighter than a sun. The explosion tore through the flagship's weapon array. Fire and debris scattered across the stars. The charging beam collapsed. The energy imploded. The flagship staggered, its shields broken, its body burning. On Horizon 1, Carter saw the explosion through the viewport. Tears filled her eyes. "They did it. They stopped the shot," she whispered. Her aide whispered back, voice shaking. "At what cost?" Reyes bowed his head. For a single breath, Phantom Spear was gone, a ghost forever. Then his voice rose strong and cold. Fleet, the flagship is broken. Finish this. Show them what it means to threaten Earth. Phantom Fleet roared forward, their cannons screamed. Alien ships fell in waves, shattered and burning. The once proud armada of conquerors became wreckage, drifting in silence. Across Earth, civilians watching through hidden feeds gasped and cried. The fear that had crushed them only hours ago turned into something new, pride. For the first time, the world saw their secret guardians. For the first time, they saw that humanity was not weak, not fragile, not prey. The aliens had called them children of a small blue world, but now the galaxy would remember them as something else. A people who hid their power in shadows, a people who could strike like ghosts. And though the battle still raged, though the flagship still lived, the balance had shifted. Humanity had revealed its hand, the Phantom Fleet had awakened, and the galaxy itself trembled. The void was fire. The alien fleet lay broken, wreckage drifting like black snow across the stars. Yet one giant remained, the alien flagship. Its body burned, its shield shattered, but it still floated with pride. Its glowing eyes of light still aimed at Earth. Admiral Reyes stood silent on Phantom 1, his hands gripped behind his back. His fleet had torn the enemy apart, but the flagship refused to fall. It still carried the voice of its commander, a voice of arrogance that echoed across every channel. You think this battle is yours, but your world will kneel. One world cannot defy the stars. Reyes stared cold at the screen, his voice low but sharp. Then let us show you how. One world defies the stars. He raised his hand. All ships, form the spear, target the flagship's heart. Phantom Fleet moved as one. Dozens of ships aligned into formation, their cannons charged, energy built like thunder waiting to strike. But before the order came, the alien flagship unleashed its fury. Dozens of plasma lances cut across the void, smashing into phantom hulls. 2 ships fell, burning into silence. The ghosts mourned but did not break. On Horizon 1, Carter clung to the viewport, her body bruised, her lungs filled with smoke. She watched as phantom ships burned, her heart breaking with every flash. Yet when she saw the formation tighten, when she saw the ghosts rise again, her voice cracked with hope. Hold the line. Please hold the line, she whispered. Inside the alien flagship, its commander paced like a beast in a cage. His glowing skin flickered with rage. We were gods to these creatures, he hissed, yet they dare resist. They dare strike at us. His aides trembled, but none dared speak. He slammed his fist against the console. Then let them die as heretics. Back in the command center on Earth, the president stood with his advisors, their faces pale, their hands trembling. They could only watch the silent war unfold on hidden screens. No one spoke until one old general whispered, "If the ghosts fall, Earth falls." The room went silent, but Admiral Reyes was not silent. His voice rang across every ship, calm and steady. We are the shield in the dark. We are the blade in the shadow. Today, humanity rises. Today, we show the galaxy that peace is a choice, not a weakness. His hand cut through the air. Fire. Phantom Fleet unleashed everything. Cannons roared, torpedoes streaked, beams of light carved across the void. The formation slammed into the flagship like a storm. Its shield shattered completely. Its armor tore apart. Explosion rippled across its body. Fire spread through its massive hull. The alien commander screamed as the ship shook. Impossible. They were children. They were weak. His words turned into a howl of rage, but his pride could not stop the truth. His empire's illusion was broken, his fleet destroyed, his weapons silenced. Phantom 1 fired the final shot. A rail slug the size of a tower smashed through the flagship's core. For one moment, the void lit brighter than dawn. Then silence fell. The flagship broke apart, pieces scattering like dying stars. The war was over. Across Earth, people who had hidden in fear poured into the streets. Screens lit with the sight of victory. Children cheered. Families wept. The world united in awe. Humanity had not only survived, it had triumphed. On Horizon 1, Carter stood in the broken halls, smoke rising around her. Her aide whispered, "We won," but her eyes stayed on the burning wreckage outside. "No," she said quietly, "we did not win peace. We won respect, and respect will keep us alive. Admiral Rhea stood tall on Phantom 1, his fleet burned and battered, but still alive, his voice carried across every channel. Let this day be remembered. Let the stars know this truth. Humanity is no prey. Humanity is no slave. We are ghosts in the void, and we strike when threatened. His words echoed like thunder through the surviving ships. In the days that followed, wreckage was cleared, survivors rescued, Earth buried its fallen and raised its banners. The galaxy watched in silence. Empires that once mocked humanity now whispered in fear. Stories spread of the fleet that rose from shadows. The Phantom Fleet became legend. The aliens who had come as gods left as broken exiles. Their threat ended, their pride shattered. And though humanity had scars, it also had something greater, a name spoken with fear and respect across the stars. First contact had not ended with peace. It had not ended with surrender. It had ended with the dawn of a new truth. Earth was no longer a fragile world of dreams. Earth was a fortress of ghosts, a power hidden in silence, and the galaxy would never look at humanity the same way again.